What messages do the animals have for you? Have you been receiving messages from animals or insects or any part of nature? In this video, I'll share some of the ways that animals can communicate with us. Welcome, sisters. I'm Cynthia. I'm a spiritual way shower and on the path of a sacred sound priestess. Welcome to the Be More Joy channel. If this is your first time here, love to meet you in the comments below. So last year, I headed to Glastonbury, England for a sacred sexual awakening and healing retreat. And before I went, I was out walking around, and it was summer solstice. I live just a few houses away from a large creek where there's eagles and osprey and sometimes fox and mink and all kinds of animals. Deer. One of these days on the video you might see a deer walk behind me. They're always in my yard eating my orchard, eating out of my orchard. They have their babies in the yards and leave them here. It's amazing. I feel like when I step out in my backyard, it's like wildlife kingdom. So I love spending a lot of time in nature. I'm a nature gal. I would live outside if I could, really. But on summer solstice, just a week before I left on the retreat, I was walking on the dike and I stood there. I stood still for a few minutes and I saw the osprey coming down over the creek, which is not unusual to see it on a regular basis. It flies around my yard a lot. But on this day, it did do something unusual. Where I was standing on the edge of the little cliff, when it got to where I was standing, it turned 90 degrees, flew directly over my head, and then did a circle around me, and then continued to fly off. And I stood there a moment, kind of wondering what just happened. It felt powerful, though. It felt like an activation of some kind. I shared that with a friend. I didn't Google what osprey meant or anything, but she sent me something. It was a beautiful little paragraph about how osprey often means you're coming into your power, stepping into your power, which is what I was in the process of doing. So that was a nice confirmation. And then there's another beautiful story I wanted to share with you from my journey over in England, where an insect gave me a message. I'd always wanted to get a tattoo for as long as I can remember. And I always told people, well, I still just have to figure out two things: where I want it and what I want. Two important things to know when you're getting a tattoo, right? And on that retreat, I had such a transformation. I wanted to mark it. And I learned that the young man I became friends with, he was from Colombia. He'd been traveling for 5 months and he was working at Earth Spirit. Andres, he was a tattoo artist. I thought, oh, this is perfect. You know, he could do my tattoo while I'm here. And I had narrowed it down to butterfly or dragonfly. They both symbolize transformation to me. And I knew where I wanted to get it. I wanted to get it on my arm. I went for a walk behind the retreat center, and as I stepped onto the path and I was contemplating which symbol I wanted, a huge dragonfly came out of nowhere and flew around me in a circle and then continued on its way. And then I realized dragonfly it is. Yeah. And then I got the little baby dragonfly right there. It's just a little one. But I just love that. I love when the universe shows us signs and synchronicities. It's so magical. And then that magic continued the day after I got the tattoo. I went back to Glastonbury for a couple hours, met a new friend, Marion, who I look forward to reconnecting with. She's a volunteer at the St. Margaret's Chapel. And we were in the very back. And there were some vines there, and I was asking her about a certain flower, so she came back there with me. And all of a sudden, I said, oh, look, there's a dragonfly. And she said, oh my goodness, in all the years I've been here, I've never seen a dragonfly in this garden. So that was interesting. And after I came home and we stayed connected through email, she said she was sitting in the garden thinking of me, and as she was thinking of me, a dragonfly appeared. So you gotta love it, right? It just makes me happy, all those synchronicities. So what I wanted to convey is be on the lookout for your messages from the natural world. It doesn't have to even be an animal. It could be the wind, it could be a rock, it could be anything. Everything's connected, and everything is always showing up for our highest good. We just have to listen. We have to have eyes to see and ears to hear, right? Open up to the magic of your life and the magic of being human. And I wish you magical messages from Mother Nature and the animal kingdom. Share with us in the comments below what communications you've had and experienced with animals or other parts of nature. I would love to get to know you and hear some of your journeys. Okay, everyone, may you flourish in your life, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.